Excuse me. Can I help you with something?
And this person who isn't turning around is just moving about her kitchen like it belongs to her, like it's hers and she knows where everything is. What up, story mud African time. Thank you for joining. So some time ago, I made an announcement where I expressed to my followers, my fans, my subscribers that you guys can send me stories. I may not be able to get to all of them, but I do have them. I'm seeing them, I'm receiving them, and I love them all. Thank you. And so I have another story that I'm going to share that was from a fan who we will name Bella to maintain her anonymity. I still don't know if that's a word, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the word anonymity, okay? That being said, I am going to be using my creative storytelling skills to piece this story together. We're gonna obviously keep some pertinent pieces of information out to respect the person sharing the story, but it is based on true events, okay? As I said in my other video, if you like Epstein Street, Room 22, if you like a cautionary tale, those stories, then this story is your vibe. Thank you. And the story begins. See, I remember when you had a lot to say. We never played those games you wanted me to play. I'm not trying to push it, but I'm just trying to say I'm not the one, I'm not the one. So some time ago, Bella and her fiance bought some property. The property was intended to be investment property. It was in a really nice area. The area was being built up. There were so many attractions, so many things that people from other states and countries come to that particular state to visit, to go see. And so they got everything set up. And you know, of course, a part of the investment property process is inspection. And every time the inspector comes, there's something for them to fix, something for them to adjust, something for them to get approved. So eventually Bella said,
maybe this is a sign. Maybe we should just move in. Right now, we're staying in a 1-bedroom apartment. This property is just a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, but it's ours, you know, like it belongs to us. Maybe we should just live here for a bit. Make the best of it, make it our own, and then a year or two down the line, look into investment property again. So her husband agreed. Did I mention that she was married? I think I did. Did I say she bought property? Well, anyways, her and her husband bought investment property. Fast forward, certain things just weren't working out the way they wanted it to, so they decided to just move on in, okay? So it was really nice. It was a townhouse. It was 2-story. It was spacious and open floor plan. It was nice, very cute. You know, it didn't have like the best view, but it had a decent backyard. So they were like, let's get a dog.
It was just turning out to be a really nice decision for the both of them. It wasn't a brand new home, but it was still modern. You know, like modern enough to where they didn't feel like they had to pay to do too many updates. However, Bella still wanted a more updated kitchen. She's a chef and she loves cooking. She especially loves to bake, okay? So she did want her kitchen updated. So fast forward a few months, they moved in there. They hadn't officially moved in. It was just literally a few months of them, you know, figuring out how they were gonna terminate the lease, how they were gonna get their security deposit back, you know, what they were gonna do with the furniture, do they buy any furniture? It was just a few months of a whole bunch of back and forth, right? So now finally, they're in there and Bella does not want to delay the upgrading of the kitchen process. So they're getting their stuff together, they're putting all their stuff away and you know, unpacking. Lengthy process, y'all already know. Moving is a biscuit-eating bulldog. Bella gave negative shiitake mushrooms. She wanted that kitchen and she wanted it now. And her husband gave her what she wanted. So there was one evening where they were kicking it in the living room, and they had already met with several contractors to get started on the kitchen. And you know, they're laughing and talking, shooting the breeze, you know, reminiscing, just loving the fact that they made it this far, yada 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 da 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 da. So the husband says,
I'm gonna take a shower. Why don't you go ahead and put that kitchen to use?
not funny. He was trying to be funny by telling her she's a woman, go ahead and go in the kitchen. Anyways, let's let it go. So she goes into the kitchen, she's preparing them a nice, you know, cute little dinner, cute little dessert. And as she's in the kitchen, she feels her husband brush past her. And she was like,
That was a really quick shower. Like, let me at least finish dinner.
and she laughs to herself, and she turns around and she doesn't see her husband. Now, what are we gonna call her husband? It's really late in the story for me to now decide to name this man. We'll call him Michael. Michael. Anyways, so she turns around, no Michael. She was like, okay, you know what, Bella? It's been a long several months. It's been constant movement, constant back and forth. You're not losing your mind, but you might be losing your mind. Get the dinner, set it up in the dining room or living room, because that's where they were gonna eat. And just, you know, relax, take it easy, take a few days off from work, whatever. Like, you're doing a lot, okay? You're overstimulated. And so she takes the dinner out, she sits down, her husband comes out the shower, they have a great dinner. Fast forward, the construction starts. So there's some periodic banging and question asking and, you know, an uncomfortable next few weeks. Fast forward to an evening where they're ordering out for the 15th time, obviously because they don't have a whole lot of access to their kitchen, you know. They decide that they're gonna eat pizza, whatever. So her husband says,
Let's not even do the whole delivery thing because these delivery fees are trash. I'm gonna go pick it up. I'll just go get it.
he leaves to go get the pizza. She's sitting upstairs flipping through the channel in their room. They got the master bedroom. It's cute. Just picture it. Whatever you want to picture, that's it. That's the master bedroom. And of course she hears the movement downstairs. Now, Bella isn't necessarily an uber trusting person, but it makes life easier to give the contractors access to the house. Okay? They have a certain entrance. They set up their little porta potties outside. All right? So yes, there are points and times where she hears banging and moving around. And you know, this evening, it's not super late, but she hears the movement. And she's thinking, I don't remember them telling me that they were gonna come this evening, but it's just so much going on. Let me go downstairs and see if I could at least offer them something to drink. So she gets to the top of the stairwell and the movement stops. She doesn't hear anything in the kitchen anymore. And so she just proceeds to go down the stairs. She's like, well, they couldn't have gone just as quickly as they came. Nobody's in there. Nobody's in the kitchen. She says hello. And then she calls her husband's name, Michael. No response. She's like, all right, well, maybe they just ran back out to their work truck to get something. She looks outside, pulls the curtain back, no work truck. Husband's car, not there. She's just gazing at her car parked in the driveway. She says, okay, Bella, this is the second time this happened. Maybe you need to see someone. She goes back upstairs. The minute her foot touches the top of the stairwell, she hears movement again, just bustling around in the kitchen. She goes back downstairs, slowly, in an attempt to catch whatever it is in her kitchen or whomever it is. Nothing. So she says, okay, I'm calling my husband. She turns back around to go back upstairs to get her phone, and she moves slowly in an attempt to hopefully catch whomever it is. Nice and slow, nothing. The minute she gets to the top of the stairwell, the movement takes place again. This time she decides not to go back downstairs. She goes into her room, she closes the door, she locks the door, she calls her husband, and she says,
You need to come home right now.
Whoa, what's going on?
Somebody's in the house.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm hearing it. I swear.
Then you need to get off the phone with me, call 911, I'm on my way.
So she's like, okay, first of all, this in her head. She has the phone in her hand. She's second guessing whether or not she could call 911 because she doesn't want to be seen as crazy or ridiculous. If something does happen and she calls the police again, they're gonna second guess it. They're gonna question whether or not they come. It's fine if her husband thinks she's crazy because, you know, she's crazy to her husband. It's fine. But she doesn't want to call the police and run the risk of not being able to explain what she really truly can't explain. So she sticks her head out the door, hears nothing, sees nothing, goes to the top of the stairwell, goes down one step at a time, pokes her head from around the corner, and she sees the back of a woman standing in her kitchen. And she has absolutely no urge to scream. But she's curious. So she says, "Excuse me,
Can I help you with something?"
and this person who isn't turning around is just moving about her kitchen like it belongs to her, like it's hers and she knows where everything is. Except there are so many pieces of the kitchen that is torn up, yet she moves about like the kitchen is her home, her sanctuary, and everything is exactly where it was, where it needed to be for her to reach for things, and she just looks like she's preparing something. And so Bella says again,
"Excuse me, can I help you? I think that you have the wrong home. You know, if you're confused or lost, I can help you."
and just as the woman is about to turn around, her husband busts through the door and he's like,
Where is it? What's going on?
and he has a box of pizza in his hand and he's like,
Who are you talking to? Who's in here?
and she points to the kitchen, but the woman just fades. And her husband turns around and looks at the kitchen, and then he bum rushes into the kitchen, and then he comes out the kitchen and he's like,
Nobody's in there. What's going on? What's the problem? Who did you hear? Who were you talking to?
I swear, Michael, there was a woman in the kitchen. I promise there was someone there.
and he turns back around and he gazes the kitchen. He walks about the busted up kitchen and he's like,
Well, did you see where she went?
and now he seems confused. And she's like,
I swear, I was hearing a noise every time I looked in the kitchen. I saw nothing. And then this last time I decided to come downstairs, there was a woman in our kitchen.
and he's still standing there with a pizza box in his hand and a bag of soda. And she's looking at him like, I'm not really sure why you thought that the pizza and the soda was your best bet at protection, but whatever, my guy, whatever. So he's not really in the mood to be humorous. He sets the pizza down, he sets the soda down, and he said, I
I
just
just heard you talking to somebody. I heard you say, I can help you if you're confused, but you got the wrong home. And I just felt like if you're talking to this person, there must not be much of a threat.
Well, I didn't feel threatened.
And now they're just standing there staring at one another. And he, encourages her to start from the top. And she tells the whole story all over again.
Okay, so what you're saying is you saw a ghost.
And she shrugs because she doesn't want to confirm it. And he was like,
Here's the thing, we're not sleeping here tonight. Get your shit, I'm gonna get my pizza and my soda, we're going to my mom's.
and so they head out. She gets her stuff. They leave. They spend the night at their mom's. They don't talk about it again. They let it go. And, well, not they don't talk about it again. They don't bring it up for the rest of the night. A few days go by and Michael's like,
What are we gonna do about this house that we're paying a shit ton of money to be reconstructed that you have been talking to ghosts in?
Okay. Maybe we should look into something else. Maybe it's me, maybe it was in my head, maybe it's the lack of rest.
I don't know. Like if I felt like something was off with you, I would have said something. If I felt like something was psychologically off-putting with you, I would have told you something. You seemed absolutely certain that you were talking to a human being, and that's why I came in there the way I came in there. I don't think it's you. I think we're dealing with something else.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I need to see someone.
No. The way I heard you speaking before I busted in there, I was so sure there was someone that you were talking to. If I felt like you were psychologically slipping, I would have said something. And I don't think that's what this is. I genuinely feel like we might be dealing with another entity. I feel like we might be living in that home with someone else.
Well, have you been experiencing anything?
No, I haven't. Nothing.
Well, then why just me? Maybe it is me. She's revisiting that same thing. She's like, if it was an entity, why wouldn't the two of us be seeing it?
Well, let's go talk to somebody. Let's figure it out. But not a psychologist, like a psychologist. Let's talk to like some healer or something.
You know, he doesn't really know the term. He doesn't know who they should go talk to. He's not even bringing up a priest or anything. He's like,
there's gotta be somebody. There's gotta be someone we can talk to.
so they revert to Google and they find this one person with like amazing reviews who charge out the for consultations. But they do it. They're like, if the reviews are amazing, you know, they gotta know something about something. So they make an appointment. They're still not going back to their place. They're still kicking it with his mom. The appointment time comes, they go see this guy. He looks the part. I hate to make him sound so cliche. I would love to say that, you know, he looked like the average guy. No, he had a scarf, you know, he had all of these jewels, and he was wearing this long sort of tribal patterned dress that kind of looked like a house dress. Okay. So they get in there, they sit down. There's all of these candles lit. The aroma is intense, but still somehow comforting and calming. And so they tell him what's going on. And the entire time he's keeping his eyes on Bella. And so finally they're all done and he says,
whomever that is, whatever she wants, she believes that you have it. And therefore you have to go back.
so Michael immediately cuts it off. He's like,
No, we're not going back. We're not doing this. We're not going back in there until we can discover a way to live in that home peacefully and happily without ever having to deal with this again. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking to you. I'm telling you.
let's name this guy Joseph. We'll name him Joseph. Not super creative, but whatever, Joseph for now. So Joseph says,
I'm telling you, this is the way to do it. You need to figure out what she wants. Why she's beckoning you, Bella. What is it?
Michael's not having it. So then he turns to Michael and he says,
Listen, if you remain this strongly, if you remain feeling this strongly about not allowing Bella to figure this out, then whomever this woman is that you saw, and he looks at Bella, he said she will begin to do what she has to do to get Michael out the way.
and so now everybody's sitting there in silence. Bella looks at Michael, Michael looks at Bella, and they're all sitting there in silence. So then Bella says, okay, well, what do we do now? That's a long story. So I'll make this part 1. I promise you, I have part 2 ready. We're gonna edit this all up. We're gonna make it look all cute. And part 2 will be shortly after this one. So make sure you tell your friends, make sure you like and subscribe. I promise I'm not gonna leave you hanging like I did with Epstein Street. But Epstein Street will come up. The second part to this story will come up. I promise, I promise, I promise. Make sure you thank Bella. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out my editor, Blake Quake Beats, my literary masterpieces, Zyla on Kindle Vella, and my glasses are from Zilul. So use the discount code PAIGE10. PAIGE and the number 10. 10. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining.